Hello, ladies, and welcome back to another episode of the Isn't She Powerful podcast. Today, we're going to be talking about food noise. I was at an event in Jacksonville this past week. I got to speak on the health and wellness panel, and it was just so much fun. Literally, I live for speaking, and I have a podcast, so I'm sure you all guessed it, but I just love to talk, if I'm being honest. I came home from the event, and I told Shane, I was like, I'm just so good at talking, and then I realized how that sounded, and he was like, yeah, you are good at talking, and I'm tired of listening sometimes. But anyways, while I was there, I was sharing with the other women at the event what I do, what I specialize in, and I told them that I specialize in helping people get rid of their food noise and heal their relationship with food. And one of the ladies looked at me and she was like, what is food noise? She'd never heard of it, which to her, that's a blessing. Thank God you've never heard of it. Thank God you don't know what it is. But how I explained it to her was, okay, me and you were sitting here having a full-on conversation. If you had food noise, your brain would not be here with me. Even though you would want to be present in this conversation with me, you wouldn't be able to. And instead, your brain would be on that table over there in the corner that has cupcakes on it. All you would be thinking about was how you need to go get one of those cupcakes. As soon as this conversation is over, you're going to eat a cupcake. But oh wait, I shouldn't eat a cupcake. That cupcake's bad for me. No, never mind. I'm not going to eat a cupcake. And you would just spiral on the cupcakes in the corner rather than being able to be here, present in this moment. And so what I wanted to address in this conversation today was what's the difference between food noise and hunger, because those two things are confused a lot. We think, oh my God, all I do is think about food. I'm always wondering, what am I going to eat? When am I going to eat it? And sometimes that's just the fact that you're hungry, and it's normal for you to be feeling that way. Or you're hungry because you're not eating well-balanced meals, and we're going to talk a little bit about that in this conversation. But then other times it is food noise, and I need you to understand the difference between those two things, because both of them have a solution. There is a way to not be thinking about food all the time, whether it's a product of your hunger or a product of food noise. There's a way to heal both of those things, and there's a way to make it to where those things don't control your brain all the time. And so let's dig into that conversation today because I'm really excited for it. So if I was to break down the two in the most simple of terms, hunger is your body asking you for fuel. You might feel it with a rumble in your tummy. You might feel it by feeling a little bit weak, a little bit tired. Your body is sending you the signal, hey, it's been a while since we've had some food. We need to get a little bit more fuel if you want us to keep going. Food noise is your brain constantly chattering to you about the choices that you're making about food, about what you should and shouldn't be eating. It's like your brain never shuts up, and all you do is think about food all the time. Your choices with food, what food you're going to eat right after this, you're eating a meal and you're thinking about the next one. And it's like constantly your brain is on food. And I want to communicate something loud and clear here. Hunger is a good thing. And a lot of times we want to be angry with our body because it needs more food. We want to, demonize our body because it's asking for more food and we've already eaten a big enough meal today. We had lunch. Why am I still hungry? Why do I need more food? And I need you to understand that hunger is a good thing. Hunger is a great thing. Your body, if it feels safe enough to send you cues that you need more food, is a good thing, because a lot of people's bodies don't send them those signals. A lot of people's bodies, they don't tell you that you're hungry. They don't tell you that you need more food because they've been silenced for so long. I always give this analogy whenever I'm talking about this, but if your child came home day after day and they were trying to tell you about what you learned at school, what they learned at school that day. Hey mom, I did this art project today. Do you want to see it? No, not today. Hey mom, we learned about this in science class today. Do you want to hear about it? No, not right now. I'm busy. And you keep silencing them, you keep telling them, no, not right now, not right now, then eventually that kid's going to stop coming to you and telling you that it has something important to say. It's just going to say, okay, well, she doesn't care. I'm wasting my time. I'm wasting my energy. I'm not going to spend this time trying to tell her when she doesn't care. And that's what your hunger does over time. The more that you say, no, not right now. We're not hungry right now. We're not supposed to be eating right now. I'm too busy to worry about this. This is not it. If I eat, then I'm going to gain weight. We're not eating right now. You keep silencing that voice that tells you that it's hungry, then over time your body doesn't feel safe enough to actually give you food. Your body doesn't actually communicate with you that it needs food in order to continue on. So your body telling you that it's hungry is a blessing. Your body feeling safe enough to send you those signals and cues is a great thing, because that means that your intuition still feels safe enough to speak to you. That intuition also lets you know when you're getting full. It also lets you know when an opportunity is good for you and when it's not. So this intuition that I'm speaking of, that tells you when you're hungry and when you're full and all these things, it goes beyond just the food. It's important for a plethora of reasons. So like I said, hunger is physiological. There's some kind of physical symptom that you are going to feel when you're hungry. It might be brain fog. It might be fatigue. It might be hunger. It might be grumbling. It might be shaky. Like, there's a lot of different things that you might be feeling when you're starting to realize that you're getting hungry. And all of those symptoms are going to be physical. There's going to be something in your body that lets you know you need food in order to continue on. We need some more fuel. When you ignore the hunger long enough, that feeling, it just gets stronger. And I want you to understand that hunger is a feeling. Hunger is not a voice in your head. Sure, it is a voice in your head, but it's paired with something physical. Okay, so you're going to feel a feeling when you're hungry. And this feeling, if you ignore it for long enough, it's just going to get stronger. So if you feel shaky, the longer you wait, the shakier you're going to get. If you feel like you are hangry, the longer you wait, the angrier you're going to get. If you feel like you're really tired, the longer you wait, the tireder you are going to be. The more tired or tireder. Pretend like I wasn't a third grade teacher before this. Okay, sometimes English is hard. But this is why it's so important that when you start to feel that hunger, you pay attention and you reward your body and you say, thank you so much for letting me know that we need more fuel. I'm on my way to the kitchen right now, or I'm going to go to the restaurant right now. We're going to get you some food. Okay, you're going to be fine. Your body needs to know that it is safe to feel these feelings, and it is safe, and the way that it knows that is by you giving it what it's asking for. Once again, hunger is your body being smart. Hunger is not your body being bad or being wrong, and so many diets have tried to teach us that it is. As women, we feel like our hunger is a bad thing, and I need you to understand that it's not, that it is a good thing for you to feel that feeling, and all we have to do is respond appropriately. So hunger is a feeling. Food noise is more emotional and more mental. It's the chatter in your brain that will not stop, okay? It's you waking up in the mornings and saying, okay, what are we going to have today? Nope, can't have that. We've got to stay away from that because that food is bad for me. We need to only have this food. And then all day long, you're thinking about that food that's bad for you and how you need to stay away from that bad for you food. It's like constant all day. All you do is think about what you should and shouldn't be eating. This comes from 1, years of restriction. It comes from you being on diet after diet after diet, telling yourself, that food's bad, I can't have that food, this food is good, I have to have this food, and if I eat this food, it ruins everything that I did eating the good for me foods, so I just need to stay away from those foods. I cannot ever have those foods. You spent so long trying to restrict those foods that all you do is think about those foods. I want you to understand that the more you are saying, I can't have that, I can't have that, I can't have that, you are making that food feel so important to your body. Because all you are doing is telling yourself, this food, all you're doing is fixating on that food. So we have to stop putting those foods in the bad for you box, and we just have to make a box of food. Some foods are more in alignment with our goals. Some foods give us more nutritional value than other foods. But food is food, and the only bad for me food is the food that has mold on it, or is literally going to make me sick, right? Other than that, I can have these foods. I can have them in a well-balanced diet. It's okay. Food noise also pops up whenever your blood sugar is super imbalanced. This comes from you skipping meals consistently, where you're not having breakfast or you're skipping lunch in the middle of the day. And if you're skipping those meals, your body is so much more likely to have this chatter about food because 1, it's hungry, like we talked about previously, but 2, your body also is going through these waves with blood sugar where it's trying to give your body more energy to keep going, but it doesn't have what it needs, so it's pulling from all of its sources and just spiking that blood sugar up all the time. Those blood sugar imbalances also come from having meals that are not well balanced, so you're having meals that don't have enough protein or they don't have enough fiber to them, or you're eating sugar on an empty stomach. So you're giving in responding to that food noise and you're saying, I've been thinking about this Reese's all day. You know what? Screw it. We're going to eat the Reese's. And as soon as you do, that actually makes the food noise louder because you're spiking your blood sugar up. And now it's creating this roller coaster of emotions and feelings that come along with that spiked up blood sugar. The way that you can differentiate between these two things, like in the moment, is by asking yourself, could I eat a meal right now? Could I go, if I walked into a restaurant right now, could I order a meal that has some protein, some fiber, some color, and want it and eat it and feel like it was hitting the spot? Could I do that right now? If the answer is yes, then it's likely that you're hungry. But if the answer is no, and you're like, no, all I want right now is that Reese cup that I've been thinking about for 3 days, then it's likely that you have food noise. And also do a little check-in with your body. Ask yourself, do I feel any physical sensations right now? Do I feel tired? Do I feel weak? Do I feel the grumbles? Do I feel any of the physical sensations of hunger? And each of us has different ways that we know that we're hungry. You know what it feels like to feel hungry. So ask yourself, am I feeling that? Do I feel hunger right now? Or am I feeling, like just feeling like I want some kind of treat or snack or something that's been on my mind all day long? If it's the second one of those things, it's food noise. But if it's the first one of those things, you need to eat an actual well-balanced meal. So let's talk about what to do. Once you know that it's hunger or once you know that it's food noise, what's the next step to take? If it's hunger, the first thing that I want you to do is pause and give yourself permission to have a meal or a snack. Let's say that you had lunch a few hours ago and now you're feeling hungry again and you're frustrated by that and you want to lose the weight, so you don't understand why you keep being hungry all the time. I want you to pause and give yourself permission to eat. If you are feeling that physical sensation of hunger, your body is asking for more food and fuel, and therefore you need to respond appropriately, because I'm telling you right now, especially if you have a weight loss goal, but just in general, if you are looking to meet some sort of health and wellness goal or just take care of your body, then you need to respond to that hunger by eating. You can't keep ignoring it. What happens when you do is it scares your body, and your body ends up holding on to more. Your body ends up holding on to that extra weight. Whenever you do eventually eat, your body's going to store all of it up as fat on your body. So if you are feeling those sensations of hunger, the best thing to do is to eat and give yourself permission to just enjoy the meal. Give yourself permission to be present, to sit down with this meal or this snack and just enjoy it. Now, what does that meal or snack look like? This is the important thing. Do not eat some sort of sugar on an empty stomach. Don't eat something that has, super high carbs on an empty stomach. And what do I mean by that? One, don't eat it alone. So if you're having it as a snack, pair it with something. Have something that has some protein or have something that has some fiber in it that you can pair to this sugary food. So for example, one of my favorite ones is a cup of yogurt, just one of those single serve yogurts as an afternoon snack. Single serve yogurt with some dark chocolate chips in there. Easy. Takes seconds for me to make, hits the spot. I feel really satisfied. Both my sweet tooth and my body feel really satisfied. And also, it's helping me to where I'm not having this crazy hunger or this crazy food noise going into the rest of the day. Because hunger turns into food noise eventually. If you ignore it for long enough and you don't pay attention, you don't give your body the food that it's asking for when it's asking for it, eventually it's going to turn into food noise. Where it's like, listen, we need this food now. We're going to get this food, so we aren't going to shut up until you give us this food. And it's just going to be chatter in your head until it gets what it needs. So instead of waiting, instead of getting to that point, have the well-balanced snack or a well-balanced meal. Have something that has some protein and some fiber and some color to it. And I promise you that the feelings that you're feeling with the hunger, they'll go away, and that food noise is going to start to dissipate. The amount of clients that I have had that have told me that their food noise goes away within the first week of working with me because they're actually eating well-balanced meals, it's insane. It's incredible, because that is really one of the biggest secrets and one of the biggest things that you are missing, is that you aren't eating well-balanced meals. You aren't eating meals that are actually fueling your body and giving it what it needs. But when you start doing that, everything else, it figures itself out. That food noise goes away, because ultimately what it actually was hunger. So if you're feeling hungry, grab a snack, grab a meal, eat some food. If you're feeling food noise, there's a little bit of a different approach that we're going to take. And remember, you know that it's food noise because your body it's a mental thing. There's no physical sensations of hunger. Your stomach still feels full. You still feel good otherwise, but you have this chatter in your brain about the sugar. This is what I want you to do in that situation. Number one, you're not going to be surprised by this. It's the same thing that you do first whenever it's hunger. You're going to pause. You're going to check in with yourself. You are going to give yourself permission to feel these feelings and to move forward with confidence, to move forward with control. You're not going to let this food control all of your thoughts and all of your energy and all of your emotions going forward. You are going to take a second, tune in, calm your nervous system down, do a little deep breathing, close your eyes, feel into your body, and say, whatever our next move is, it's the right next move for me. Like, tune in, slow down for a second, pause. Because a lot of times what we do is we run to the kitchen, we run to the pantry, we run to that drawer in our desk at work, and we just start grabbing sugar. And we eat it so fast because we're ashamed that we're eating it. So we just shove it in, and then we're like, well, one, I don't feel satisfied because I didn't even take time to taste that. And two, now my stomach hurts because I just ate so much sugar in such a short time. Your blood sugar is spiked through the roof. Now your energy is going to come crashing down. And then you are going to have cravings again in like 30 minutes to an hour because of that blood sugar spike that you just created within your body. So with that, here's what to do instead. Number one, ask yourself if what you're feeling could be solved by doing something that doesn't involve food. So if you are, for example, feeling really stressed out and it's causing the food noise to start up, you just got this really stressful email from your boss, and then somebody walked into your office and they said something to you that really upset you, and you've got your kids trying to message you, and there's just like, you're being pulled in a million different directions, and the stress is like really causing some things to bubble up within you. Pause and ask yourself, would food help to solve this situation right now? And a lot of times, food is actually going to make the situation worse, because what is happening here is you're feeling stressed, and then if you eat something, it's just going to add more stress, because then you're going to start beating yourself up about the fact that you just ate something. So instead, pause and ask yourself, is there something that I could do right now that would help me move through these emotions that doesn't involve food? Maybe you need to get up. Maybe you need to go take a breather. You need to go take a lap around the office, or go outside, get some sunshine for a minute, take a step away. Maybe you need to do something that does not involve food at all. That's the first step I want you to take. Could I get rid of this feeling that's inside of me by going out and doing something that doesn't involve food? If you feel like, no, I do still need food, then it's likely that your food noise is also in tandem with the hunger. So if it's been like 3 to 4 hours since your last meal, it's really possible that that food noise is also being paired with some of the hunger feelings as well. So you might be feeling both of those at the same time. And what I invite you to do at that time is let's take the Reese cup example. Take that Reese cup, chop it up, put it into something that has some protein and some fiber, a yogurt cup like I mentioned earlier, pair it with a beef stick, pair it with something that has some protein or some fiber, maybe even both, and allow it to become part of a snack so that, again, like I mentioned earlier, it satisfies you on multiple different ways. You're satisfying that sweet tooth, you're satisfying the food noise, and you're also giving your body what it needs as well. The one thing that I don't want you to do is try to force it to go away with willpower. Because, and I just posted about this on social media, willpower is an emotion, and willpower is going to go away with time. Okay, here's what I mean by that. Let's say that you are feeling super angry because your boyfriend cheated on you, and this did happen to me whenever I was little. It was like high school. This is when it was like 9th grade. I came home from school one day. My boyfriend had just like came over to our house to change clothes, and then we like left, went and did something together, like went out to eat or something, and then we came back, and my parents had found this note that he had written to another girl, and he was going to give it to her, but it accidentally fell out of his pocket at my parents' house. So I took that note, and I was mad, y'all. I was mad. I was so mad at him, and I took that note and I gave it to him and I was like, you left this in my house, and I feel really proud of myself whenever I let him have it that day. I'm just gonna leave that there. But that anger that I felt that day, within a week it was gone. Within a week, maybe not a week, I don't know how long it took, but over time it went away. Over time I didn't feel that anger anymore. And that is the same thing that willpower does. You start off the year, you start off the week, you start off the new diet with all of this fire to do the great thing, to make it stick this time and do the things you said you were going to do. And you have all of this willpower to say, no, I'm on a new diet. No, I just started this program. No, 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 no. And then over time, that willpower, it starts to slide away. There starts to be less of it and less of it and less of it. And then the next thing you know, there's no more willpower. The willpower is completely gone and you're saying yes to everything. And you are going way off the deep end, all the way overboard because you said no for so long. So instead of trying to say no, instead of trying to battle through it with willpower, find a way, and this is how I help people, find a way to intermingle those things that you normally would be saying no to on a diet with everything that you would be saying yes to. Let those two things coexist, and that is where you are going to see so much success. So I'm going to close this out by reminding you that food noise is different than hunger, but sometimes these two things can coexist. If you let hunger go long enough, then it does turn into food noise. And a lot of times this food noise can come from hunger. So even though these are two separate things, hunger, very physical. There's something physical going on in your body to prove to you that you need more food. Food noise, emotional and mental. There's something going on in your head that's making you feel like you need more food. But these two things can become one if you do not respond to them appropriately. So what are you going to do? Follow the steps in this. Pause. Have well-balanced meals. Stop trying to fight it with willpower. Stop trying to act like hunger is a bad thing and allow yourself to eat the food that your body is asking for. And over time, honestly, very quickly, if you start to balance out your meals, and I have so many healthy, well-balanced meals on my page, y'all, please go over to Laura Be Healthy on Instagram or TikTok, and you're going to find so many amazing recipes there. But with that being said, start to add in some healthy, well-balanced meals. Start to pay attention to the foods that you're putting in your body. Become aware of when you're eating sugar on an empty stomach and how you can pair those foods with some other things. And over time, you're going to see, and like I said, it can happen quickly. So I say over time, within a week, you are going to feel and see so much difference in the level of noise that's going on in your brain and in the level of hunger that your body is feeling. So if you would like any help with this, if you want a listening ear, somebody to give you some advice, you know where to find me, at Laura Be Healthy on Instagram or TikTok. I would love to have a conversation with you. Would love to get to support you in any way that feels right. I cannot wait to hear from you. Please do me a favor and share this episode, whether that be share it with a friend or a family member, whether that be share it on an Instagram story, however, whatever way. It would mean the world to me if you would share this episode with somebody because, number one, not only would that be helping them so much, people think that this food noise is a problem. You feel like this food noise and this hunger, like something's wrong with you and you're bad because of it. This would give so many people that you know and love the permission to say, no, it's not me. I'm not the problem. There is an easier solution to this. But also, it would help me so much. One of my biggest goals for this year is to grow this podcast and to reach more and more people. That's already happening, and it would mean so much to me if you would take an active role in that and simply share this podcast with someone. Thank you so much for being here for another episode, and I cannot wait to see you again next week. Thank you so much. I can't wait to see you again next week, and always remember, the more you know, the more you grow.